Hi, this is going to be a video response for one of my viewers, Full Metal State. Full Metal State was commenting on how games that are powered by the apocalypse, you know, those role-playing games that have moves, they are a bit tricky when it comes to immersion and actual roleplay. So in this video, I wanted to present some tips and advice on how you can actually roleplay a game powered by the apocalypse. For those of you that are not familiar with the powered by the apocalypse system, you basically make rolls, and depending on the result, you obtain success, tie, or failure. And depending on those three outcomes, then you get several options for what you are allowed to do in that particular instance. So for example, maybe, let's see if I can find it. Oh, by the way, for this example, I am going to be using the Heroines of the First Stage role-playing game. This is actually a good anime type of role-playing game. I would say that it's a lesbians done right role-playing game because the characters are quite beautiful, quite cute, and the way that the heroines reproduce, they basically, through magic, when they fall in love with each other, a new being is born. So it's different from real life, where if in real life we only had gays, the human species would not be able to continue because you need a man and a woman to produce a child. But here in Heroines of the First Stage, they simplify that through that magical process, and I think it's great for that particular story or type of story. So in Heroines of the First Stage, there is an explanation of moves. So let's say that you are playing the RPG and you want to read a person, you want to look into a person, try to pick up those small details or signals. You make your roll. You could tell the game master, I am carefully observing that person over there, or as I am talking to the chancellor, I am trying to pick up any small clues or subtle signs to see if he's nervous or confident, to see if he's lying. So you make your roll, and maybe you obtain a success. Now you can ask 3 questions, and here is where you break the immersion. You can ask 3 questions, but there is a way to handle this. They present several options here. Is this character telling the truth? What are they really feeling? What do they intend to do? What do they wish I would do? So these are examples. First, do not feel constrained, tied up, shackled to these questions. These are just examples. In a true role-playing game, the possibilities are endless. So these questions should be understood as examples or guidelines, just that. So let's say that you want to figure out if the character is telling the truth. Maybe you made your roll, you obtain the result, and you tell the game master, I look into the character's eyes and see if his gaze averts from my own gaze. Or I take a look at the character's brow to see if there is a bit of sweat. You see? And you are like promoting that description, that roleplay. And now the game master can give you, oh yes, you notice that the character is constantly looking to the side, or you can see a small drop of sweat going down his brow or down his cheek perhaps. And that's how you handle it. And this is even simpler. Can you say that? Well, easier. That when it comes to the game master also has moves. So in the case you want to, let's see if I can find it here. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, here are some examples of the moves. The game master can use the character's tragic flaws against them. The game master can complicate relationships. The game master can pit them against great numbers. So let's say maybe you want to use the tragic flaws. Maybe the character enters into this room and you see a decapitated corpse, or a mutilated corpse, or whatever. And you have this character flaw that you saw your best friend die. Your best friend was mutilated or decapitated or whatever. So now the game master can tell you, when you look at the corpse, you suddenly feel overwhelmed. It's all coming back to you. the death of your best friend, and then that's how you start to apply those penalties. Or in the other case, which one did I mention? The complicate relationships. In that case, you can tell maybe the character is with his girlfriend or her boyfriend or whatever, and you can say, or in this case, the character is with her girlfriend. You can say something like, that bitch, she's going to betray you, just like your ex. You see, and you start to put those thoughts into the player character's mind. So that's how you handle those moves. In any game, any role-playing game powered by the apocalypse, you can handle moves in that way. Don't ask questions to the game master directly. And for those of you that haven't, you haven't been playing role-playing games in what I would say the correct way, please check out my video where I talk about the difference between role-playing and acting. The link is going to be in the description. So for those of you that wanted a bit more, some advice, perhaps help when it comes to running these games, that's it. All of those questions, just transform them, turn them into roleplay. Don't ask questions to the game master. Describe how your character is applying the results of those moves. If it's a question, rather frame it as something that your character is doing to understand that. Do not look at it as if you now have you now have the right to ask 3 questions. No, you have 3 opportunities to narrate or describe something interesting about the scene. Don't ask if your character wants to understand how that device works. Tell the game master, I start to pull the lever or push the buttons in order to make the device work. And that's how you keep the immersion. I hope that was clear enough. It's certainly not an easy system for beginners. Like I said, well, I've said in other videos, they have been teaching how to play role-playing games in the wrong way. They have been teaching you how to have a mother may I conversation, and that is not playing a role-playing game. That is a mother may I conversation, as simple as that. So I hope this video was helpful, especially for you, Full Metal State. But if you need clarifications or if anyone else has any comments or questions, please let me know. I am always thankful for your comments, questions, likes, of course, etc. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you and see you later.